Alright guys, looks like we're ready for the color part here today. The first thing I want you to do is think about your dragon and what color you'd like to add to it. It's always good to look at our color wheel to understand what colors go well together. So it's okay to have one of these color wheels next to you so you can kind of choose. For my dragon, I'm doing a water dragon. So I use the dragon over here and then water symbol. Since water's a little bit cooler, I'm going to use cool colors, and I'm only going to stick to the cool colors for the majority of the dragon. I might go over to yellow a little bit for some background details, but I want to stay right here on the color wheel. So the first thing I did is I grabbed some oil pastels, and you notice there's a white in there too. I might want to lighten it up and test that out, but I grabbed a purple, blue, and green. Okay, these are all close together. They're going to go nice together as you choose your colors for your dragon. Now you could choose warm colors as well. The one thing you don't want to do when you do your blends for this project, you don't want to choose ones that are on the other side of the color wheel. So if I choose orange, I wouldn't want to add a blue and blend them together. They really don't go together, and it's going to make a muddier color, like a grayish, brownish color. Okay, so let's get started. And I'm going to be using all cool colors for the dragon. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to get into the oil pastel, then I'm going to get into marker. On the outside, I'm going to do some type of pattern here. So I'm going to do like a red, or not a red, but a blue to green, and then maybe to violet. Kind of these colors all in here. Or maybe I start with violet and blue and go into green. So maybe do that same thing as I go on here to see what happens. Okay. So grab my violet, and on the outside, I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the edge. Okay, you may have spikes, you may not. It's up to you on what you do with your project. And I think I'm going to go about right here with the violet. And I'll show you what you're going to do to give it kind of a look of movement. And you want to put these down very thick because we're going to be doing a little smudging here. Smearing and smudging. Okay, about right there, I'm going to stop with the purple. Okay. And this is the background, so it's not a big deal because we're not going to cover all of it, but you just take it and you go and you just move it over there. It's going to give a look of movement, and it really adds to the whole look of your work. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. I like how that's going. Okay. So this is just in that background area there. Now I was going to go violet into blue here, so I'm going to go a little bit up into blue. Now I'm going to run into a little problem here. I'm going to be kind of over top of my other ones. I'm still going to go a little bit over top of it though, where I have that, because it's okay if it gets covered up, because that's going to show it underneath there. Oops. And it looks like I went a little too far. I might put a little green up here, maybe on the top. Okay, maybe a little bit. And actually I could blend them together a little bit. So it looks like mostly it's going to be a blue dragon. Just have that come off. And I'm just going right over top of that. Smudging it off. There we go. I really like how that looks there. So that's kind of the first part. You'll go around the edges. You don't have to do it around the head, but I would do it around any of the body part of your dragon. Okay. Once you have that done, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get into markers, and then you're going to turn them into watercolor. Okay. So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to do a little purple or violet, and I'm just going to add a little color here down on the bottom. Okay. Remember, if you're doing a larger area, you always turn it on the side. And I'm going to add purple just kind of on the top here. I don't actually have to color in the whole thing. I just want to color in a little bit. Okay. Right in there. Once you have a little bit of it covered, you're going to take a little dish of water and a brush, and then you're going to turn that marker into watercolor paint. So I just take it and I move it across, and it turns magically into paint. And that's the really cool part of this project, is that you can make it go from dark to light, and it just looks amazing, and it's really simple to do. And it almost looks like a lavender color here, or a lilac color, when I go from the dark to the light. And notice where I did the marker, it's going to be darker, and where I don't do the marker, it lightens up a little bit. So think about that with your work as you create it. Oops, that's the background sound. So next I'm going to get into blue here, and I could have done that beforehand. Color out first. I don't want to get water on the marker though, you got to be careful there. But I'm going to go all the way up to here. And these colors are going to blend together a little bit. And then right up here is where I got to do my green. Just have that run off there. Go ahead and clean your brush off, and then we just go again and just, it's okay if they blend together. That's kind of what you want right here, is to get a little blend going so they kind of mix a little bit. And there we go. So, you know, there's some areas that you could leave white if you needed to, or I could just come in and, you know, and do this all marker if I wanted to. If I wanted these to be a little bit darker, that's what I do. You move it around with the watercolors so you could get it a little bit darker if you'd like to have it, or lighter, I mean. So the watercolors move it around, as you can see right here. In the background then, you could do some things different. You know, you could use oil pastels there. You could take them and go on top like this. Or you could even go like this and add in some watercolor or some marker and turn that into watercolor. Alright guys, can't wait to see how they turn out. Good luck.